ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಕೆ ಕ್ಯೂ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಬೈ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಹೌದಾ. ಇವಾಗ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ನ ಹಾಫ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಕ್ಯೂನ ಕ್ಯೂ ಬೈ ಟು, ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಯೂ ಬೈ ಟು, ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದೆಮ್ ಆರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು 2r. Now new force will become what? K q by 2 into q by 2 is q square by 4, okay, divided by 2r square and 4r square, okay. So this 4 and 4 will multiply, we'll get 16r square. So f dash is equal to k q square by 16 r square. K q square by r square, right? So it will become what? K q by 2 into q by 2 is q square by, compare this one and this one, f dash will be equal to divided by 16 2r square and 4r square, okay. So this 4 and 4 will multiply, we'll get 16r square. So f dash is equal to k q square. In this, what is the 16 two charges k q square by placed in A become what? K each other by 2 into q by 2 is q square by, compare this one and this one, f dash will be equal to divided by 4 and A 16 2r. They have given us how much? 4r square 10 power minus 4 Newton. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Then what I say? Okay. When oil is introduced between the charges, the force between them becomes 2.5 into 10 power minus 5. Okay. So force in oil is how much? 2.5 into 10 power minus 5 Newton. What are they asking? They are asking what is the value of dielectric constant of oil. What is dielectric constant? Dielectric constant simply means ER, that is relative permittivity. So what is the formula of relative permittivity in terms of force? Relative permittivity in terms of force or dielectric constant K. Yes, yes. Force. Is it force in air by force in oil or force in oil by force in air? Force in air divided by force in oil. So force in air yesterday 10 power minus 4 divided by force in oil is 2.5 into 10 power minus 5. Somebody was already saying correctly 100 by 25. Yes. Is this fine? Dielectric constant. Some books they also use the symbol K, dielectric constant, or they might also use C. But you remember the dielectric constant is nothing but relative permittivity. Relative permittivity is epsilon r. Epsilon r is what? Epsilon the medium divided by epsilon naught. In terms of force it is force in air by force in medium. Let's quickly write this down and next. Now, very shortly, how do you write this? Simply write this given force in air, force in oil. What did they ask? They've asked epsilon r is equal to how much? Question can be shortened like this as well. Yes or no? Now, 2 point charges are placed at a certain distance r in air, exert a force of F on each other. Air aliddaga, okay, then the distance r dash at which these charges will exert the same force in a medium of dielectric constant K is given by. Question artha aita ಏನಂತ? ಎರಡು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಏರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ some distance they are placed. Let's say in air they are placed at some distance 10 cm. ಅದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಏನು 10 ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಅವೇ ಎರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ನ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ದೂರ ಇಡಬೇಕು ಸೊ ದಟ್ ದ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಆಟ್ 10 ನ್ಯೂಟನ್. ಏರಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ 10 ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಾಗೂ ಕೂಡ 10 ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ದೂರ ಇಡಬೇಕು? ಹೌ ಫಾರ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ದ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಶುಡ್ ದೇ ಬಿ ಕೆಪ್ಟ್? Now, many teachers give this as shortcut or trick. Okay, so this question can be written on a shortcut or a trick. Okay, so we'll try and derive this. What does it say? Force in air. Sorry? Okay. Let's see. Either it will be fourth or third. Yes. So force in air. ಯಾವ ತರ ಬರೀತೀರಾ? Force in air, I have told it, we'll write it as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. 2 point charges, let's say they are Q1 and Q2, divided by what is the distance in air? The distance in air is R. Okay, we'll write it like this. Yes. ಅದೇ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಯಾವ ತರ ಬರೀತೀರಾ? Let us 1 by 4 pi epsilon of the medium into Q1 Q2 divided by R dash square. R dash ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡರಲ್ಲೂ ಸೇಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಸೇಮ್. Both of them are same. What do you get? You get 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square. This will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 divided by R dash square. You didn't cancel out that? 4 pi Q1 what is the formula for dielectric constant? Epsilon divided by epsilon naught. Epsilon divided by epsilon naught. So you bring epsilon naught to the left, epsilon to the left hand side, and R you send that side. What you will get? You will get epsilon divided by epsilon naught. This is equal to R square divided by R dash. Epsilon by epsilon naught is nothing but K. K is equal to K into R dash square is equal to R square. So therefore R dash is equal to R divided by root K. R dash is equal to R divided by root K. R dash is equal to R divided by okay. How do we write this in short? Okay. Proper sentence I ಬರ್ಸ್ತೀನಿ. For now understand this. We try and write it like this so that it is better. How do we write it? Write it like this. Rn medium will be equal to Rn air divided by root K. Rn medium is equal to R in air divided by root K. So illinda K ಇನ್ನೊಂದು formula ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, so K is also equal to what? R air square divided by Rn medium square. Yes. You write it as K or you write it as epsilon R. Okay. Air ಅಲ್ಲಿ medium ಅಲ್ಲಿ same ಇರಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಪ್ಪ? R into root K you got na? ಆಯ್ತಾ? Okay. Next one. Already this point was written, so force of gravity and Fg and Fe represent gravitational force and electrostatic force respectively between electrons situated at a distance of 10 centimeter. The ratio of Fg by Fe. This is the order of electron and another electron. What is the distance between them? 10 centimeters. Charge of electron. Okay. Mass of electron is, you can take it as 9 into 10 power minus 31 kg, and charge of electron is 1.6. What I have written, it is the magnitude of charge. Okay. What do you want? You want Fg divided by Fe. Fg is G m square divided by r square. ಎರಡು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಎರಡು ಮಾಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ G into m square divided by r square ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ this is K q square divided by r square. Yes. So r square is same for both of them. So you are writing gravitational force and electrostatic force between the two electrons. Yes. When you write gravitational force R ಬೇರೆ, when you write electrostatic force R ಬೇರೆ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. No. So basically you will get what? G by K into m square by square. That means G is what is that? Let's say G. Okay. Let's say this is 6.4 into 10 power minus 0.66, 10 power minus 12. Okay, this is 9 into 10 power 9 multiplied by m square. M square is 9 into 9 to 10 power minus 62 divided by, this is 1.6 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 30. Four ones are 4. Yes, approximately you will get 10 power minus yes. Okay, and this will get 10 power minus 36. ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಬರುತ್ತಾ? Get approximately 10 power minus 43. Okay, fine. minus 44 ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. The closest answer is minus 43. Sorry. Scientific notation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಪವರ್ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್. ಎಸ್, okay. Next one. Okay. What I was saying, two particles of equal masses m and charge q are placed at a distance of 16 centimeters. They do not experience any force, and the value of q by m is, you have two objects here. They have same mass and they also have same charge. Okay, what they are saying is they are not experiencing any force. What do they mean by this? Is that they mean that the net force acting on them is, ಯಾವ ತರ net force 0 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? Because of mass, gravitational force ಇರುತ್ತಾ? Yes, yes or no? Attractive gravitational force, and because they have charges as well, and there will be electrostatic force of repulsion. Electrostatic force of repulsion. ಎರಡು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಎರಡು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆದಾಗ they will be in equilibrium, or the net force on them will be 0. So let's take a particular mass, this one, and let's write that electrostatic force is equal to gravitational force. What is the value of electrostatic force? The value of electrostatic force is simply epsilon naught alide, so we will simply write it as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught S q square by r square. And gravitational force ಯಾವ ತರ ಬರೆಯೋಣ? Gravitational forces G S m1 m2 both have same mass, so this will become m square divided by r square. ಎರಡು equal ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? We'll get F is equal to Fg. You will get q square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. This is equal to G m square divided by r square, both sides get cancelled. So what are they asking? They are asking the ratio of q by m. Q square divided by m square is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught into g. 4 pi epsilon naught into, therefore q by m is equal to square root of option 3. Option So this distance of 16 centimeters is a useless information that they have given us. Okay. No need to write down, you can just quickly tell me the answer. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Q1 and Q2 ಇದಾವ, and then between them if you bring Q3, force between Q1 and Q2, will it change or will it remain same? It will remain same. We have Q1 here, okay, and then Q2. Let's say the force between them is K Q1 Q2 divided by r square. ಈಗ Q3 ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದ್ರೆ force between these two will still remain K Q1 Q2 by r square. Okay. Okay, you already know this. Now, force between any 2 point charges is independent of presence or absence of any other charges antele ನೀವು property of electrostatic force ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ. So this is based on that property only, right? If you Q3 is brought near Q2, the force between Q1 and Q2 will not change. Not only Q3, if you bring Q4, Q5, Q6, Q7, no matter how many charges you bring, force between Q1 and Q2 will remain same. ಯಾವುದೇ ಎರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ನಡುವೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, right? Not doing that, you're only bringing some other charge, means between those two force will remain same. But if the question is changed slightly like this, is that this is Q1, this is Q2. Now near Q2 only Q1 was there. The force on Q2 is Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Now if you bring another charge Q3, what will be the force on Q2? It will not be same. Now for Q2 mein Q1 also is exerting force and Q3 is also exerting force, right? The language of the question is they are asking force on Q2. If they say force on Q2 because of Q1, it will remain same. But if they are simply asking force on Q2, now on Q2 forces are by Q1 and also by Q3. So again ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು net force calculate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Because of Q1 is 2, because of Q3 is 2, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವೆರಡು ವೆಕ್ಟೋರಿಯಲಿ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹೌದಾ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್? ಎಸ್ ಎಸ್ ಓಕೆ. Electric charges 1 microcoulomb, minus 1 microcoulomb, 2 microcoulomb are placed in air at the corners of A, B, C respectively of an equilateral triangle having the length each side as 10 centimeters. The resultant force on C ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಿದೆ 2. Take an equilateral triangle. Does it look like equilateral triangle? Okay. Right. Now say that this is A. What is the charge on A? Yes, charge on A is. What is the charge on B? Minus 1 micro. What is the charge on C? What is the charge on C? 2 micro. If I take that the charge on A is Q, what will be the charge on B? Minus Q. And what will be the charge on C? 2Q. Charge on C will be 2Q. Okay. And if I take this R, this will also be R, and this will also be R. Yes or no? Because it is an equilateral triangle. Okay. Now, what are they asking? They are asking the resultant force on charge C. Okay. Charge C will be the resultant force on that. Between A and C, what kind of force will it be? Will it be repulsive force or attractive force? Repulsive force. Repulsive force andre line joining A and C is this AC. Repulsive force andre it will be in this direction, yes or no? What is this? This is force on C because of A. Yes? Now B and C are opposite type of charges. Between B and C it will be attraction. So between B and C attraction andre, can I draw this force in this direction along BC like this? So this is what force on C because of can you calculate and tell me what will be the value of F C A? What is this? Force on C because of A. Magnitude, it will be simply K into this is Q and this is 2Q. So how is it? 2Q square divided by R square. Yes or no? FCA will be K into 2Q square divided by R square. Okay. Now what is the force between C and B? Magnitude. Between C and B magnitude, this is plus Q and sorry, this is plus 2Q, this is minus Q. So the K into 2Q square divided by R square. Same agata eradakku. Force between these two and force between these two is same. Yes or no? Magnitude wise. Yes. This plus 2Q minus Q अंदर ಕೂಡ Coulomb's law ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ? Force is proportional to magnitude of product of charges. Magnitude of product of charges. 2Q into minus Q magnitude ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? 2Q square. Okay. ಎರಡು ಸೇಮ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಎರಡರ ನಡುವೆ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆಪ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? 120 degree. So two equal forces acting at an angle 120 degree. And the resultant ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Resultant also will come out to be F. Resultant also will come out to be F. You have this is F and you have this F. The resultant in bharathe, resultant is simply equal to F. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So therefore resultant force on C will be simply equal to F. Okay. Other magnitude calculate madidre, that is K into 2Q square divided by R square. K into 2Q square divided by R square. Okay, fine. That is barutte K ivaga hakri. K is 9 into 10 power 9. Yes or no? Look here, K is 9 into 10 power 9. This is 2 multiplied by what is the value of Q? Q ಏನಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ವಿ? Q is 1 microcoulomb. Q is 1 microcoulomb. 1 microcoulomb ಅಂದ್ರೆ this will be 10 power minus 6 into 10 power minus 6 ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ Q square ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. Divided by R square. R is how much? 10 centimeter. 10 centimeter ಅಂದ್ರೆ meters it will be 10 power minus 1. Yes, 10 power minus 1. 10 power minus 1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Okay. 10 into 10 power minus 2 multiplied by 10 into 10 power minus 2. If you are confused, 10 centimeter na meter alli convert madidre enagutte? 10 into centi will be 10 power minus 2 meter. Eshtagutta? Yes. How much are you getting? 9 to 18, 1.8, 1.8 in there. That's why I said vectors. There are equal forces 120 degree angle ಅಲ್ಲಿ act ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ resultant ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Resultant also will be equal to F only. F value ಎಷ್ಟು? F is nothing but K 2Q square by R square. Then you finally substitute and then find it. So 1.8 ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ? Yes. Right, we have done similar questions in gravitation as well. M2, M3, M. Okay, shall we look at the next one? Try this. Okay, I'll only do this as well. Two identical spheres A and B with a charge Q are placed at a particular distance from each other and repel each other with a force F. Okay. Another identical neutral sphere is brought into contact with A and then with B and finally removed from the system. The new contact force between A and B. Charge distribution ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ charge distribution conduction ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ if you have two spheres right if one of them has charge q okay another one has 0 okay if you bring this both of them in contact ಎರಡು same radius ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ after charging ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ this will become q by 2 and this will also become q by 2 ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ equal charge ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Yes. Okay. Now, what are we doing here? Okay. So, using this, what are we doing here? A and B. They are at a certain distance R. Let's say the charge on them is Q and Q. Okay. So, before what is the force between A and B? Here it is K Q square divided by R square. Yes, before C is brought in contact with A and B, before C alla picture al barakkina modla force between A and B is KQ square by R square. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ another identical neutral sphere C. What they have done? C is brought into contact with sphere A. Okay. So C ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ if they brought in contact with A ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದು Q ಇದು A ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ Q by 2. ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ Q by 2. After this is done, what happens? A charge will become Q by 2. C also charge will become Q by 2. B as it is Q only. Yes, B as it is Q only. Now what they are doing? And then with B. C na A ಜೊತೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಂದು ಆಮೇಲೆ B ಜೊತೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. A ಜೊತೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಂದು ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ Q by 2 and Q by 2. Now if it is brought in contact with B ಮತ್ತೆ ಎರಡರಲ್ಲೂ equal charge distribution ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Total charge is 2 Q plus Q by 2. The total charge is 3Q by 2. ಆ 3Q by 2 equally distribute ಆದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ A ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ Q by 2. B ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ 3Q by 4. C ಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಸ್ ಸರ್ ಎಸ್ A and B ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಇಸ್ Q ಅದನ್ನ ಈಕ್ವಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆದರೆ Q by 2 Q by 2 ಇಲ್ಲಿ B and C ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ Q ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ Q by 2 ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಸ್ 3Q by 2 ಇದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಈಕ್ವಲಿ A and B and C ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಸೊ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ B will get 3Q by 4 and C will get 3Q by 4. The charge distribution ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ what they are doing next? Finally removed from the system. C ಈ ತರ ಎರಡರ ಜೊತೆ ಆಟ ಆಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ removing it. Once they have removed it, what is the force between A and B now? K into what is the charge on Q? Sorry, charge on A, it is Q by, sorry, charge on A is Q by 2 multiplied by what is the charge on B? dq by divided by the distance as it is R square. So, ಹೊಸ force ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ F dash AB is nothing but 3 by 8 into KQ square divided by r square. But kq square by r square is what? F. So therefore f dash is equal to 3 by 8 times f. F dash is equal to 3 by 8 times fs. So after A and C are brought in contact, charges on A and C are q by 2 and q by 2. After B and C are brought in contact, the charges on B and C are 3q by 4 and 3q by 4. So finally, A mele q by 2, B mele 3q by 4. You read the language of the question very carefully. A and B nadavattu distance antara change madilla. Okay, they have not changed the distance between A and B. They only brought C in contact with A and C in contact with B. Is this fine? Yes? Okay, now before we do this, okay, so if you remember null point formula for gravitation, null point formula for gravitation is S d divided by under root of S d divided by under root of big by small plus 1. What is this? This is the distance of null point from small charge. Distance of null point from small charge is d divided by under root of big mass divided by small mass plus 1. Okay. Now, gravitational force is attractive force. Yes. Adhe tara illu charges alli attractive force yavaga agutte? Opposite charge. So opposite charge iddagu kuda ide formula barutte. And the definition of null point is also same. What is the definition of null point? Yes. Plus and minus. Okay. Here opposite charges are plus and minus. They are separated by a distance of d. They are separated by a distance of d. Let's say this is now distance x from small charge equal to d divided by under root of, because in charges you have both positive and negative type of charges. What we do is we take mod of big charge by small charge plus 1. Plus 1 square root ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತಾ? ಹೊರಗಡೆ. Now, for same type of charges. That is plus and plus or minus and minus, positive and positive or negative and negative. So idರಲ್ಲಿ distance of the null point from smaller charge will be equal to d divided by under root of big by small minus 1. Okay, quickly here. Sorry, just a minute. I think I have written it reverse. I have written it reverse. I'm so sorry. For the opposite charges, yeah. Yes. Now the sentence that you have written, you have to exchange it here. Null point lies outside the charges Here null point lies between the charges. Okay. This is what happens if you try to remember the formulas half and half. Arda formulas ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. I always try and see to that I am able to do the questions without formulas. Always, because remembering is very difficult, at least especially for me. So therefore, I try and do all questions, no matter what type of question it is. First, derive a formula and then do the question. But that does not work for everyone, right? So make the effort to remember the formulas for at least your sake. Okay. So if they are opposite charges, why does the null point not lie in between them? Okay. So let's say you have a positive charge in between them. If positive and if positive network repulsion. So what is the direction? Direction is towards right. Okay. And between this negative and positive, what will be the force? Attraction. Attraction, it will be again. As you can see, if it is placed anywhere in between, both the forces are always adding up. Okay. So no matter where you place here, null point barangilla. Okay. Not only for positive charge, okay, even if you take as negative charge, right? If I take a negative charge here, between these two negative charges, the force will be repulsive. Between this positive and negative, force will be because of both of these, idar mele ಏನು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಎರಡು force add ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎರಡು force add ಆದ್ರೆ null point ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Null point will lie always outside of, and outside of these two, this null point will always remain closer to smaller one. Remain always closer to smaller one. Why? Because force ಎರಡರದ್ದು equal ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯೂಮರೇಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇದೆ, ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು? Think about it. Okay, now here, if you take a positive charge, because of this there will be repulsion in this direction, because of this there will be repulsion in this direction. So what will happen when the charge is placed in between both of them, there is a possibility that if ಎರಡು force equal ಆಗಿ cancel ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So therefore null point ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, same charge ಇದೆ, null point it will be in between. And if you take this side, positive repulsion, this positive and this positive, again repulsion. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ therefore ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, it will come in the middle. Okay, I think this formula is correct. It has to come outside, the value has to be more than D. Okay, the value has to be more than D. So this will be more than D and this will be less than D. Okay. Attendance was taken in the first class. Okay, quickly. Abhishek, Amrita. अभिषेक, अजित, अमोल, अमोल, अंकिता, अर्पिता, अश्विनी, अश्विनी, बसलिंगम्मा, भाग्यश्री, भाग्यश्री, भूमिका, चन्नबसव, दीपिका, दिशा, गणेश, गुरलिंगಯ್ಯ, रोहित, कन्याकुमारी, कार्तिक,